Hello, you beautiful people. I just had an interaction with one of my favorite people. She was a patient years ago, follows me on social media and YouTube, and emailed me. She reads my newsletter. She sends my stuff out. We're good friends. She made a painting for my daughter. She's lovely. She emailed me a couple weeks ago and said, I want to come in and do like a screening with you. I want to kind of see where I'm at and see where I might be struggling physically and um, if there's any kind of areas that I'm missing in my movement routine and my exercises. I said, awesome, let's do it. So she came in today and uh, it was awesome. It was so nice to see her. She brought such an amazing energy. It was really, really, really cool to hang with her. She's really good at doing stuff on her own. So she doesn't need me necessarily for accountability. She does need me for guidance. And the way we found out that she needed me for guidance was we put her through this vitality test. And I basically look at two main buckets that we look in, maybe three. Okay. The first bucket we look in is the what I call the motor control bucket. There's a lot of really cool, amazing things that happen when we move. And when we move our body against gravity or against a load that it might not be used to, it can tell us to a trained eye where a person might be struggling, okay, and where there might be what she was looking for, like gaps in her training, okay. So the first bucket we look in is what we call motor control, and I use something called the FMS, and I use a lot of body weight. You know, we squat, we touch our toes, we do posture assessments, all that good stuff, and we see how can she control her body in space against gravity, no weight, no anything else. That's the first bucket. The second bucket is we look at strength, and I look at a couple different things. I look at the capacity to generate power, so to do things quickly like jump and jump rope, and then I look at endurance. So like how can she like what kind of load she could carry in a farmer carry, and how long she could carry that load with good form. And sometimes I just look at like grip strength. That's another really good sign of vitality. So we test strength as its own bucket because strength is really important in independence as we get older. And then the third place that I look is I put her on the Renpho in body scale that we have, and that tells me an insight. It's not everything, and I want to make sure I emphasize this. It's a piece of the puzzle, and it's like a blurry piece of the puzzle, because if she slept poorly last night, or if she drank a lot of water before she came in, or if I missed her height by an inch or two, the measurements that gives us can be off. So it's a very incomplete piece of the puzzle, but what it does give us is a really general look at her visceral fat, which is the fat around our bellies, which is the stuff that's harmful and kills us. And I made it a point to explain this to her, that like we have visceral fat because we live in America in the last 50 years. And the foods that we've eaten and the lifestyle that we've lived have encouraged us to gain this type of fat. Now, not everyone, but if we went to Greece or we went to Italy or we went to a blue zone, those people don't have a lot of visceral fat. Okay? And Americans didn't have a lot of visceral fat 75 years ago. But the whole food industry changed and our whole culture changed, and now we do. Okay, and there's no judgment behind that, but it's true. So the bioimpedance scale tells us a little bit about a person's visceral fat. It tells me their skeletal muscle percentage. Again, this is all rough estimates. And it tells me a little bit about their bone density. And those are the three things that I actually care about on that scale, and that I can make a meaningful change to that person with that will actually affect their health. I tell everybody all the time, I cannot help you lose weight. I can help you get healthy. And most people realize once I say that, they're like, oh, well, yeah, I want to get healthy. You'll lose weight as a happy side effect. But if that's what you come in here to do, I'll send you up the street. I am not the right person for you. I am here to help you get healthy and take control of your life. So that was it. It was just like a really great interaction that I had with a patient. I say I get the best people in the world who come into this door, and I just wanted to share that with you because the main point to all of this is to explain that yes, she has really good habits. Really good habits. She moves every day. Her step count is high. She goes outside. She has hobbies. She has friends. Really, really good stuff that she's doing. When we looked at her stuff today, it showed us a gap. It showed us a gap in her capacity to move her body against gravity in certain positions, in push-up positions and getting up and down off the floor. And now that we know that that gap exists, we have awareness, it's going to be so easy to narrow that gap and improve it. She's going to come back in 6 weeks. We're going to retest everything. It's all going to improve. I know that. She wouldn't know that that gap exists. She would spend the next 6 weeks doing everything that she's been doing because she was unaware of those deficits that we found today. And I want to make this abundantly clear too. She's doing awesome. Everything she's doing, I said, keep doing it. I'm really proud of you. Keep doing it. You enjoy it. You're going to stay consistent with it. Keep doing it. Now we have to optimize. She's already in really good habits. Now we got to get her lifting some weights. Now we got to get her pushing her body against gravity. Now we got to get her up and down the floor, going to either side. I wanted to share that with you. That's the type of people who I help in here. And I love it. I love every second of it. I'm so grateful that I get to do it. And I think everybody should have access to it. And we're working on it. Okay, I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing your time, energy, attention, and effort with me today. Keep moving and keep getting better every day.